Hi guys, my name's Sean from Concept Chemicals and welcome to another episode of Ask the Professor. And what we're going to be doing today, we've been asked to test a degreasing product against the Zirconite panel prep. Product is, I think it's Gyeon's Q2M prep. Not familiar with it. I think it's solvent based and it's corrosive. And I'm going to put that up against our panel prep, which is alcohol based. So I'm going to machine an area, leave plenty of product on there, and I'm ultimately looking, hopefully, to see if I can actually see if one product is a more efficient degreaser than the other. So fingers crossed we might get a result. I've never done this test before. Well, I tell a lie, I've done it with solvent-based products against water-based products, which is obviously, they're worlds apart, so you can actually see quite a differential there. But I've not done the test with this particular product, so it's not one that I'm familiar with. So I'll machine the area up. There's nothing special about it. I flatted it with 1500s. I've machined it up once. I'm just going to do a second dip with it, and then I'm going to let it cool down and degrease the surfaces. So hopefully we'll get a result. Oh, if not, then both products will work very, very similar. So that's the objective is to see if one product outperforms the other. So Lucas, if you can time me on this for approximately 1 minute and 30. This is a nice combination. P12 extra with the P15 hard white foam. Very, very good combination. Okay, so we'll just let that cool down. We'll put plenty of heat into it. Yeah, we've got lots of product still on the surface, so hopefully the demonstration or the test should work out quite well. This is just so when we start to move products around on the surface, we don't actually move it from one side to the other. So we'll do the panel prep first, the Zirconite panel prep, and we'll saturate it. So we've got plenty of product on there. Just leave that and then just let it start to do its thing. And then we'll wipe it down. And then if we flip this over, then we can look at the Gyeon product. So we get plenty of product on there. There's a lot of separation on that one. That, doesn't seem to wet out quite the same as our product now, whether that's because this one contains a little bit of solvent and ours is obviously an alcohol based one. You can see how it's starting to break. Puffs up quite easy, very similar to ours. Let's see what we've got. See if we've got a difference. I'm looking for a colour variant. They're both, I can't see a difference in those. They both seem to have done a very, very good, efficient degreasing job. So when you look at the two as a side-by-side comparison, there is a colour difference which I'm looking for one area to be greyer than the other, because that would indicate to me that actually one's done a more efficient degreasing job. Whereas if I look at this one, it looks quite black. So I'm going to do one final test. I'm going to section an area of this and go through it with our panel prep just to see if I can lift any more from that one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just section an area through the right-hand panel, the right-hand section, and I'm going to try and degrease it again with the Zirconite panel prep. So I don't need much of an area. And then we can re-examine the finish just to see if it's actually gone grey or whether it's actually stayed this black colour. In which case, if it stayed black, it's an indication that you've got a very good compound in the P12 extra and the foam combination. So again, we'll saturate it. Just leave that for a few seconds. If you can remember back to the Gyeon one, all this would actually gone in, it actually started to globule, so no, the panel prep does really wet the surface out quite nicely. Okay, moment of truth, let's have a look. Remember, we're looking for a colour variant. So, and there is one. So if you look at the area that we've just degreased, yeah, and we've come from this side, so we've got swirl marks and holograms. As we move into the Gyeon one, it's blacker in appearance. There's no swirl marks and holograms. Can you see? Just come back to the left. So that tells me that that's not degreased it efficiently enough. There's still product on there actually masking. So you might be able to see that there's a black line there. It's quite grey in appearance here. Then we move it onto the area that the Gyeon's actually degreased, and it's actually a lot darker. You can bring it all the way along. It's consistent all the way along up to the new masking line that we've put in. There is a colour variant. As you look at the panel prepped area, it actually reveals more swirl marks and holograms more so than the Gyeon panel prepped area. The Gyeon one is darker in colour, so that would be an indication to me that the degreasing efficiency is not quite as good as the panel prep. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad product. It looks like it's contains solvent, it's corrosive, and I think it's possibly a water-based product, so that could be the actual difference in the two products. But I'm primarily looking at efficiency of degreasing, because I know when I polish an area and I take a car outside 2 or 3 days later, I'm going to get dropped back. Yeah, so I need to make sure that before that vehicle leaves and it's been machined up, that the finish is going to be the same in 3 days' time as what I originally accomplished when I got it into the workshop. So from a degreasing perspective, there's one winner in this particular instance, but we're not comparing like for like products or eggs for eggs. Yeah, so it would be interesting to see if Gyeon do another product, a solvent based or an alcohol based, just to see how that compares with the Zirconite panel prep. We only have one product because it works for us. We know it's a very, very good, efficient degreaser prior to applying our coatings, but it's also a very good inspection tool for checking out our polishing processes to ensure that we've actually attained or reached the level of finish that we actually want to. So if you like it, hit the like button. If you've got any comments, put them in the comment section below. If you want to look at any more instant tips, or you actually want us to do any more product comparisons, we welcome it. It's not a problem at all. Ultimately, you guys make the decision, but in this instance, there's one winner, but we're not quite comparing like for like products. So I'll see you very, very soon for another edition of Ask the Professor.